What's good, feisty kittens? How are you? I am Courtney, and I'm back with Up, Down, and In Between, how to develop a positive mindset no matter what life throws at you. And it is a video program for successfully dealing with the ups, downs, and in betweens of life. I think one of the key points of the program is that you can't control others, but you can be in full control of yourself at all times. Well, with a few slip ups here and again. But the more you start putting these simple techniques into practice, then you'll find that they're fewer and far between. You just really start to learn and practice some really simple strategies that sharpen your awareness of yourself and the world around you. It allows you to stress less, allows you to get focused, allows you to really be in control of how you react to things that happen, because we know life is not perfect. Things don't stay the same every day. It might be one day where we're having a really great day and another day where not so much. So life has its ups, downs, and in betweens. And really with this program, it's just different short bite-sized sessions that kind of help you cope with it. Not just cope, but to survive and thrive no matter what's going on in life. But having strategies for dealing with it in a way that doesn't have you at a disadvantage and helps you to learn even from mistakes. And so that each time you get better and better. Because like I say, there's levels to this. So you just keep getting better, keep getting, staying in the practice, and really just creating the life that works for you. So we'll start. Today's episode is all about, we're really talking about today about the power of living in the now to reclaim your personal power. And that's what it's all about, is no matter what's going on, you are staying in full control of your personal power. So like you can't control how other people do things, but you can control how you feel about the things that happen around you. Like, you ever get those days where you're just not feeling good? You're wishing you had something better today. When someone asks, like, well, how are you today? You wish you had something more than just a mumbled, fine. But I tell you what, the solution might be simpler than you think. Oh, and that's one of the things I think is so important. Attitude is everything. And you know what? It's everything. Attitude is everything. And I just really think that, and a lot of times people say, well, are you talking about like that positive thinking stuff? And it is positive thinking, but with a twist. And I'll tell you this, it's with a practical twist. Attitudes really are, because if you think about when you're not feeling great about your life or how the day's going, it doesn't seem like after that everything can go wrong. Like anything that can will go wrong. You wake up late, you're trying to make coffee, it spills all over the counter. You got a little one that you're trying to get out the door, oh, you missed the school bus. Like there's all kinds of things that can happen throughout. Once you get the mindset that things are going wrong, then it's like it snowballs from there. So the problem is, like I said, life is not a steady thing. We can have one really good day, the up, the next day it might be a down. Other days it's an in between. And there's nothing really that's in your control but you and how you respond to situations. So, or how you react or how you plan ahead for a situation, and really staying in control of yourself at all. So there's so many things that are outside of your control, from the weather to politics. If you read, because there's so much that you cannot control. You can't even really control how other people act or react to certain situations. You can't control how other people communicate. So there's so many things that are outside of your personal control that it can sometimes just seem impossible to ever really truly feel good about anything. Believe me, I've been there. And so I go back again. The answer lies in your thinking. Yes. So, and I know, people tell me all the time, they'll say, you're talking about that positive thinking stuff and I am saying that, but again, like I'm saying, positive thinking with a twist, because it's really in ways to be positive. Because if you've ever tried it, you might be in a really stressed out situation, or things are going not like you'd like them to, or not like you planned. And you go, well, I'm just going to think positive. And not all of the time, if you've tried it, it doesn't always work. And you're like, well, that positive mindset stuff doesn't work because I tried it, nothing got better. But the key is to not only have the positive mindset, but to really develop the tools, the skills, the strategies to take that positive mindset and go from the thinking of it to literally creating action and movement in your day-to-day life. People always say, oh, I have all these bad habits, but the key is, if it's something that you really want to do, or you want to create, or you want to achieve, then it's literally just creating these positive. So I say you don't have to break a bad habit, but you can replace it with a better habit. So you want to get into the habit, just simple tips and tools and different little quick mind ways, because you don't want to take up too much time. You want to actually enjoy living life. So these little tools will help One of those things with positive minds, and people say, I'm like, oh, positive mind, but it's literally thinking about in a positive way because I always say, I have a favorite saying, it is what it is. So you learn to accept what is going on, no matter how crazy it is. You get into that, accept that it is what it is, and then you can't dwell on that. That's when you start focusing on, well, what do I need to do to take, what questions do I need to ask? What do I need to do? What is there something that I can change about myself? Is there ways that I can change the way that I'm communicating with others to get my needs met? But there are ways that you can become an awareness of you yourself, what you need, and get full clarity on what it is that you need to do next, or you'd like to do next, to take the next step. So you're actually taking that positive mindset, but you're putting it into actual practical action. Because it doesn't matter if you have like the great ideas, the great quotes. You'll see like the positive mindset quotes, affirmations, which I am big on, but not just affirmations as in repeating them to yourself, but putting them into action and really creating change. And I think that by being able to think positively, then you'll find that your entire outlook changes. And that's the difference. Like I said, if you're having a good day, bad day, if you have a positive mindset, then when you come across like a challenge, and it could be something simple, maybe you're doing your best not to lose your temper or just snap back at somebody that you feel is not understanding how you're trying to communicate. They're not understanding how you feel. Maybe you're trying to get instructions across. They're not understanding that. Or it could be like even day-to-day challenges that seem too big to handle. Maybe there's outside forces. Maybe you got bills. Maybe you got problems with your job. But being able to be in a positive mindset, when you're able to think positively, it really does change your entire outlook on how you can solve those problems. They don't just seem like this big wall that you can't get past. You say, okay, it is what it is. It's not the way that I want it to be, but this is what I'm going to do to change that. And it might be as simple as, I get very frustrated when I'm trying to communicate what I need, and I feel like I'm not being heard. And it's like, so it might be a simple way that you can change your outlook and say, well, in the way that I'm communicating, this person is not understanding the way I'm being heard. Maybe there's ways that I might need to set my personal boundaries. Might need to communicate in a different way. But there are you begin to see the solutions as opposed to just what you're stuck in the middle of. And I think that is the difference. Because you want to be able to get to the point where you just wake up every day, and no matter what's going on, you're just loving your life. Like you're skating on it's the roller. And it's like, and even when you get on a roller coaster and it's like all crazy and everything, but it's when you get on that roller coaster, there's a part of you that's kind of hopeful. There's a part of you that, woo, I'm ready to do it. There's a little in the pit of your, you get that kind of, I don't know if I do it. And it's like, so there's a little bit of trepidation there. There's a little bit of, I'm not sure if I can handle it. But at the same time, you're in because you want, like, it's exciting. You feel inspired. This is like the game changer. You feel happy and empowered when you get to the bottom of that roller coaster and you've held on. So life is the same way. You learn how to just kind of coast with it. Even when it's crazy, it's not necessarily what you would want, but you learn how to change your emotions towards it, the way that you express yourself, how you feel about certain things, how you get things accomplished. And when you can do it from that way, it starts feeling like you're not wasting your time trying to make changes in your life. It starts to actually start being kind of, okay, well, it's another challenge. How can I do this in a different way? How can I achieve my goals even though this looks like a roadblock now? So it's like it starts becoming, it feels effortless to kind of put into practice all of these different tools. Get like with it, and then like I said, when you're on the roller coaster, you throw your arms up, you're like, yay! And so that's what you get excited about because you feel like you've accomplished it. And when you get to the bottom of that roller coaster at the end of that ride, you're like, yes, because it was scary, but you rode it and it was awesome. And it's like, so that's the thing. You just want to get yourself all excited about what you can accomplish. It doesn't matter how crazy things look. And so that's what I'm about. Because you might ask, you're like, all right, that sounds good for you, and that's work for you, but how do you get into the habit of a positive mindset? So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And just really, because it can seem overwhelming at first. You can feel like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, but you got this. I'll tell you, I was like a major when I was younger, I won't say dominating, but I have the type of personality where I'm an introvert. I am social when I feel like I'm around people that I trust or that I feel comfortable with, but I am by nature pretty introvert. Always like when I was growing up, I did a lot of writing in my journal, wrote poetry, like I filled up hundreds and hundreds of notes. So, like, I was more introverted in the way that I did things. In speaking up for myself, I had a hard time for many, many years in speaking up for myself and saying, hey, like, and not so much asking questions because I'm always curious, but in like sometimes in when you get to situations where you're like, oh, this is overwhelming, I don't know if I can handle this. And I didn't have problems asking people for help or how to get things done, but a lot of times it was having questions, what am I getting things accomplished? Even things that I knew deep down inside that I was capable of doing. And I just kept saying, oh, what I can't. Even starting like first podcast, it was like, oh, what if I can't do that? In customer service, had a career also, like I said, multi passionate, multi creative. And so I've always done poetry. I had a career as a spoken word artist. So having to get up on stage and give kind of sometimes my most innermost thoughts with my poetry and things that I've been writing. And then later began to speak in schools, to speaking to younger people and speaking to groups and really showing other people how to be confident. And so it became a situation where I was kind of forced to say, yes, you can do this. Look at the difference that you're making. So it feels scary, but you can do this. After a while, just learning, like I said, different strategies and different ways to speak up, to be confident, to change my moods or to control the respond to things, but to just really learn to step into my personal power in a way that I started thinking, yeah, I can do this. And stop seeing what could be an obstacle, but start looking at it as a challenge and what I could do next. So there are 5 habits of positive thinking that I'm always talking about. And I think that when you get into the habit of these, and like I said, it's the la la la. I just wish that the things will be better, and then it is. But it's really consciously putting in these 5 habits of positive thinking, so that you really, it's natural for you when something happens or things don't go the way that you want, that you have the ability to really go automatically into that habit that is going to shift things in different way, whether it's the actions that you take in a situation, but really getting into the habits of kind of thinking on your feet. I'll change this. We'll go through the 5. The first is thoughts are things. So that's really rephrasing the words that you're using more positive words, because thoughts are things. If you think about it, anything that you've ever seen create, if you look around you, all of the physical things around you, whether it's the computer that you're using, whether it's the table that at or a chair, no matter what you see that is physical in the world, it first started out as a thought. Somebody had to think about that. Somebody had to really see the picture in their mind to be able to create something in the physical world. So it's in the same way that you think about like how you want your day to go or how you want to accomplish things. You start yours instead of like, oh, this is going to take forever to get this done. And it's like, it's really like, I'm so excited, or you might not even be excited at first, but it's rephrasing your words so that you say, well, as I get this done, once I'm finished with this, then you might want to replace it with, I'll be able to go take a walk or I'll go do something fun. But really just rephrasing things, rephrasing and seeing things in a different way. I'm going to this accomplish instead of, oh, I don't know if I can get this done. But just shifting in tiny, tiny ways. And as you get into the habit of it, you'll see that it becomes natural to see the way that you can make things happen as opposed to that. And then, so again, like this number 2, the second habit, which really, these 5 habits, and I'll say they're in no way in any order more important than the other. All 5 of these together, a synthesis that kind of start blending together, and these become a part of who you are and how you think and how you do. They'll start to just, they synthesize and they blend in a way that you pull out the one that you need when you need it, and you're just constantly in the habit of moving things forward and being positive in the way that you solve situations. And so with the second one, flip the script, like I said, it's not any more important than the others, but it definitely is a powerful tool. And with flip the script is what we call reframing. So that's literally turning a to an opportunity. So, like, you might say, well, I don't, as opposed to saying, oh, I don't feel like doing laundry. That's one of my least favorite things, laundry and doing the dishes. I love my dishwasher. Like, it might say, instead of, oh, I've got to do all of this laundry, like, and getting yourself in that, not want to do it, really flipping the script and saying, ooh, I cannot wait until my favorite sweater, I can wear my favorite sweater. I love the smell of the clothes when they come out of the dryer and as I'm folding them. So you start flipping it and looking, you turn a task that you have in front of you, you turn it into an opportunity. It might, when you are, let's say that you have someone that is, you're being clear in your communication, but maybe that other person isn't responding the way that you want them to, you're not feeling that your needs are getting met in that particular situation. You can reframe that, and instead of saying, oh, this person never gets me, they never listen to me, then you can see that as an opportunity to learn, okay, well, I see that I might not be like communicating in an effective and clear way that allows this other person to help me or to meet this expectation that I have. So this is my opportunity to kind of see what other ways that I can use to make sure that I'm actively listening to the other person, that other person is hearing me, and that I'm being clear in what it is that I want or need or what I'd like to do. And it's like, so it's an opportunity as opposed to an obstacle. So I really flip the script a lot. I am big on flipping the script. It's like and finding ways to be excited about the opportunity that obstacle or that challenge or even a really good situation when something happens, but seeing that task as an opportunity to learn or to grow or to inspire and motivate yourself. Number 3 is shifting your focus. And so with the shift your focus, it might be like, let's say you're having communication with someone, it goes into an argument, or you feel like because that's one of the things you begin to build these positive habits, you start to really find a sense of self-awareness. So you're able to retune into yourself. You're able to see what you're triggered. You're able to see like and stop yourself. You kind of almost see like a couple steps ahead. And let's say you're having a communication with someone, that communication is starting to break down. You're like, oh, I feel I'm getting angry or I'm getting frustrated. So you literally can shift your focus and what I call regrouping. And it's like, so you don't want to focus on what went wrong, but you just want to kind of shift method or your objectives. So let's say that you're having a disagreement with someone, you feel yourself getting frustrated, you feel getting angry. You can regroup, you can shift your focus, and you can say, okay, well, I can shift my objective in trying to get. So I can say, well, we're having this disagreement, but can I shift? Do I have to be right? It could be something as simple as that. Do I have to be right about this particular subject that we're talking about? Let's say you and your partner or your spouse, let's say you guys are arguing over who has to do the dishes tonight. So you might want to say, as opposed to, like, let's say your spouse says, well, I did them last night and you should do them today. And you go, well, but I did them, there was a lot left over and I did those earlier today. I just really don't feel like doing the dishes. So maybe as opposed to getting angry about it or getting frustrated or feeling like overwhelmed, like, oh, just more on my plate that I don't feel like doing, you can shift your and say, okay, well, maybe it might be as simple as like, for me, I'm not gonna I don't feel like I have the time right now, or I'm in the middle of doing something else. So as opposed to stopping and washing the dishes right now, I am going to, or instead of washing the dishes at the sink, I might say, well, our objective in this particular situation is to clean the kitchen up. So I don't necessarily feel like doing it, but I can shift the objective. I don't have to be right in this particular situation. It looks like hubby or partner had some things that they're trying to get done too. So you can decide, like, is it the objective? Does it have to be done right now? Is it something that I can maybe say in the next hour when I finish up what I'm doing right now, in the next hour, I'm going to go ahead and load up the dishwasher. I might not have time to do them by hand, but I'm going to load up the dishwasher. That's the kitchen is clean. Hubby's okay. And I can get back to what it is that I want to do. So it might be just shifting your objective, or it could be shifting the method. And it might be like, well, okay, so like with washing the dishes, all right, because I'm in the middle of doing something else, then I'm going to focus on getting that done first. And then I will come back and I'll load the dishwasher, or maybe we can help each other. You load and I'll get them started. You rinse and I'll load. Like, so there can be other methods that you can use to get your ideal goal or your objective met, and shift your focus in a way where, as opposed to getting angry or frustrated, you shift and go, okay, well, how can I fix this really fast? Or is there a way that I can be clear in my communication that it is something that I plan on getting done, but it just has, it's the priority I have to kind of focus on. And right now it's like not the top priority, but I will get it done. So shifting your focus can be really, really powerful. It can be used for really small things all the way up to big, huge decisions, just really regrouping. And I think it's so powerful. Next is for number 4, the what's next. And like I said, I'm very curious. I love asking questions. And this is one of my favorite questions. What's next? With the what's next, let's say that you had a plan that you were going to get accomplished. Maybe there's some roadblocks, some other obstacles or challenges that came up. Maybe you're waiting on somebody else to do their part so that you can finish doing whatever it is that you need to get done. So you really want to, with what's next, ask, okay, so I'm meeting a roadblock right here, or there's a little obstacle or challenge. So what's next? How do I want to reassess? I might want to look for a positive way to find a solution where maybe the others around you, or maybe you're only seeing like, oh, this is not going to work. It's just a problem. But really being able to use the rest of all of the synthesis of your positive habits there, and really being able to see solutions where others can only see problems. So it might just be like, you know what, all right, I'm not, like with the dishes, if the kitchen is not going to be as clean as I want it to be in this moment, it is what it is. But I am going to put this on the list. I'm in the middle of, say, I'm cleaning the bathtub out right now. So when I finish the bathtub, I'm going to go from there and I'll do the dishes. But really just shifting and seeing the solution where others only see problems. And I think that can change. It's a game changer. And number 5. This is when I tell everybody, this one you want to pull out a lot, especially if you find yourself getting overwhelmed, you're feeling stressed out. It's like, oh, I can't do this. It's too much today. So number 5 is relax. Yes, because sometimes the best way to cultivate a better like self-talk to make yourself feel better about a situation is to really just cut yourself some slack and take a break. And I tell people something like, I have a rocker that I love to keep outside. Sometimes you might want to just go outside. It's like, okay, this is too much right now. It's I'm getting heated up, or I'm stressed out, or I'm overwhelmed. And it might be something as simple as, I'm just going to stop and I'm going to go take like a 10-minute. I'm just going to walk around. For me, sometimes I might do something like what I call aimless tasks that need to get done. So I might, when I'm really stressed out or I need to think about something, I might just start sweeping. So my kitchen is the better for it because I'm sweeping up, I'm tidying up, but it's also kind of a busy work that's taking my mind off of whatever it is stressing me. I'm really big on like audiobooks. I have audiobooks that I'll put in, and it's like, all right, I'm stressed out right now, or this is not going the way that I need it to, or there's a roadblock or a challenge or something I have to wait on. So I might just pop on one of my audiobooks, and then I might just set a timer for like 20 minutes, listen for a little bit of the book, and then at the end of that 20 minutes, I've regrouped, I've relaxed, I've shifted my focus a little bit, and now I can go back into whatever that challenge is. Or it might be something that I just want to put off until later, or I'll think about it later, but constantly boosting your mood and reassuring yourself that no matter what is happening, you can handle it. You got to be so powerful. So powerful. It might be tempting to feel like, oh, I don't know about this positive mindset thing. Like, I just feel like it's going to be kind of fake. I feel like I'm putting on like a fake mask when I don't always feel like so positive or like I can handle things. That's okay, because the thing is, you don't want it. It'll feel weird at first. It'll feel weird. You're not in the habit of doing it. It's like that you really using the practices and putting them, because what I call daily practical steps and strategies for really changing day by day your life. You're not going to do it all at one time. You got your whole life, but you really want to get, as you start getting the habits, then you and place and they start feeling real, then it won't feel like it's so fake. So like when I say using positive words, instead of saying something negative, either out loud or in your head, then it's just really finding a better way to say things. So you might, for example, say, well, work not grueling, because I used to be in the habit of saying, "Oh, this is so," like anytime I would start a new project, and it's like, and I started flipping that and saying it's not grueling or stressful as so much as it might. And so, and it, like I said, it might feel safe, it might feel fake, and you may feel like you have to force it at first, but the more you work to just get into the habit of rephrasing things in your mind, the easier it'll be to find a more positive spin it in a better and more way. So some of the ways, like you might say, well, what is rephrasing? What other ways can I say this? So you can say, if you want to rephrase, instead of saying I can't, then it's like I will. It's like, it's like yes, I'm happy. Use the word yes a lot more, as opposed to saying no. Just really getting into the habit of enjoying, being happy, healthy, optimistic. Yeah, things will work good. There's ways that I always say, one of the words that I always say to the universe, more please. And it's like, yes, like I'm excited about this. I will handle things. I am productive. I have a good, I have a good idea. Oh, today's a great day. But just be getting into that, the habit of letting part of your vocabulary. And so there's some words like you might say, oh, this is boring, or this sucks. But you want, as you start getting into the habit, those words get smaller and smaller and they become less a part of your vocabulary. And you start replacing them with words like I can, I am, this is so much fun. Oh, I can't wait until. So you'll start to really start adding those to your vocabulary, and you'll really see a change in your mindset. And I know, like, their life, it gets in the way sometimes. So there's like that up and down. You might feel like, how am I going to get everything done today? Maybe you're trying to, you work, maybe you have your social life and other things. You have little ones at home, but there's always things that seems like that are pulling at your time, like all like you can start feeling like, there's so much going on in my life. And if you think about it, like, how many times have you talked about having to do something? Like, again, with the dish example, oh, I have to do the dishes, I have to go to work today, I've got to do the laundry. But I think that this alone makes you, it has a negative connotation, because it makes you feel like, you start off thinking that you're not going to be able to do it, and it feels like you're being forced into doing something that you don't want to do. So instead, you can try to drop the word have to in this context and try inserting get to instead. So like I might say, well, I don't have to do a presentation by Friday. I have to do a presentation by Friday. I don't have to do the dishes, but I get to get a feeling of satisfaction after my kitchen is all nice and clean. So it's really about just shifting your mind about what you've got to get done. It might be, oh, I have to get up this morning because I got so many errands to run this morning. But instead is, well, I get to go shopping. I get to get all the things out of the way that I need to get done for the day. And then I get to have the whole afternoon free where I can do other things that actually bring me joy. So really just flipping the script and getting it to where you're in that habit of seeing things in a different way. And then so you hear the difference, because that's how you change a task into an opportunity. And it's called reframing. And that's what I think is so powerful, is just reframing how you see things and knowing that you can step out into the world in a different way, that you can really handle anything that life throws at you. So that is just a little bit of the first session. And again, it's going back over the five habits of like positive thinking, of creating a positive mindset, and doing it in a way that feels easy, that feels effortless, and that really starts making you feel inspired and motivated and confident that you could do, you got this. So it just makes you feel more confident. And so I think that as you go through these steps, as they become habit, then you will be amazed at how not only how awesome you feel, but you start recognizing how awesome you are. And that makes it even more, you're just excited and inspired to go out and do more towards and working towards your ideal life. So thank you for joining me for this session, and be sure to tune in to our next upcoming ones. Sign up for the newsletter or hit subscribe and like, and you will be able to be notified the next time a new video comes out. But I'm Courtney, and you are awesome. So until next time, go be it.